Me.
What's going on, guys? My name is 2WeMe, and today I'm going to be ranking all of the Senseis from Skylanders Imaginators from worst to best. And the main way you tell which Skylander is a Sensei is if they have a gold karate belt on them. And that is how I went through my entire bin, and I was like, do you have a gold karate belt? Do you? No! So basically this list is all the characters that are not villains from Imagineers. That's the main way to qualify it. So yeah, we're gonna be going through each one of them. The main thing about this list is it is not based on design, but more based on attacks and power and things like that, and their usability in battle. I do like some other designs, but you know, this list is not based on designs. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 18.
Fight and flight.
Oh, how it pains me to put Airstrike here, but he is just not very good. I didn't really enjoy playing as him. I do like his speed, but the speed attack isn't very good. It's a second attack, and his bird, like, attacking people, his first attack is just not very good either, and then his third attack was it's just way too slow. It just has to wind up, and it doesn't really do a whole lot because you're stuck in one position. And again, I really love bird characters, and I love the idea of a falconer, but he's just not that great. He's great for speed runs, like if you're trying to get from point A to point B or something like that, like a race, but overall his fighting prowess, he is not very good, and that is unfortunate because he looks really cool. Number 17.
Quiver with fear.
Man, so many of the Imaginators are so beautifully designed. Like, Buckshot, he's a kind of satyr, fawn type character, and he looks awesome. The thing is, though, his attacks, for the most part, are very slow and very hard to use. So his first attack is just shooting arrows, and in general, it's fine, and I think it's one of his better attacks. But his second attack is that he creates a portal, and he can shoot arrows through the portal, and then that the arrows come out the other way. The only problem is the creation of the portals is very, very slow. Like, some other Skylanders did similar things. I don't know, the Hoot Loop is coming off the top of my head, but it's just way too slow to create portals, and it takes way too much effort to try and utilize them well. His third attack also charges up very slowly. It's like this charge attack that, you know, does more damage or something. It didn't do that whole much of damage, but the main problem is his first attack is fine, and his other two attacks, they just take way too long to charge up, and that's unfortunate. Number 16.
Stay frosty.
In general, I think most starter pack Skylanders are very good. I mean, Snapshot and Shreerex are some of the ones that come to my mind right away. But let's go over Kingpin. He is alright. I think the main problem is he's slow. So his first attack is just a generic attacking with his weapon kind of attack, and then his second is he breathes some ice or something like that at people. And then the third attack is a charge, or like a speed boost charge at enemies, and yeah, the main problem is just these attacks I find on the slower side, and for some reason they're really hard to aim, which you would think they would have a great radius of the attack, but the problem is it's hard to aim them, and I don't really know why, and that makes him kind of hard to use, which is unfortunate because he looks pretty cute and stuff like that, but I guess Skylanders, you're not really basing them on how cute they are, but how good they are. Number 15.
Fan the flames.
I really wanted to like Ember. I mean, her design is not my favorite out of them, but I did want to like her just because of her dual-bladed weapon. It seems really cool, and she seems like she could be a powerhouse. Her first attack is actually really incredible, and I really love her first attack. The only problem are her other two attacks. So her second attack is she takes a very long time to bring up a small little volcano that does a lot of damage. The only problem is, again, how long this attack takes. It takes her way too long and she's left completely vulnerable while doing this. And her third attack is she throws down a meteor or something like that. But the thing with this attack too is it also has quite a bit of wind up and not a lot of delivery. And that's just the main problem with her, is that her first attack is great, just swing her sword or whatever you call that weapon around and she's smacking everybody like crazy. She can whip around like there's no tomorrow, but then her other two attacks are just so incredibly slow and it's really hard to use those two kinds of attacks in conjunction with each other. So that's why she is where she is on this list. Number 14.
Compute and shoot!
As you guys know, Robo is the rarest not variant Skylander. I still have not gotten a physical figure of one, but I do have the chips, so I can still play as him. But Robo is a very coolly designed Skylander, but I just don't think his attacks are all there. So his first attack, he just shoots his bow, and what I do like about this attack is that the bow sometimes will keep punishing the enemies, and, you know, will push them off of edges and things like that. And then we got his second attack, which I would like so much better if you could hold this down and continually go and roll around people, so it's like you turn into a spike ball or something. But the problem is it has a lot of wind up, it takes a long time to initiate this attack, and it also takes a long time to get out of the attack, and that's the main problem, is you can't do this forever. If you could just roll around the map as like a giant spike ball and just mow people down, it would be incredible. And the fact that he is a long-range character and has a nice attack to get out of a bad situation, I really like. And then his third attack is a laser. It's not the best. It's actually really hard to hit people with it, which is unfortunate. But yeah, that's Robo. I really wanted to put him higher and I wanted to like him more, but I just couldn't, and that's that. Number 13.
The speed of light!
For number 13, I am putting Aurora. Let's talk about her attacks. So her first attack, again, pretty generic, just swinging her weapon. It's okay. It's not the best of that kind of attack, but it is what it is. Her second attack I do like a lot because it's a lunge attack and it really helps her get out of a bad situation. The only problem is it alternates between different kinds of lunges. I think the first type of lunge is the best, where she just jumps, but the other two aren't as great as the first one is. And she does damage as she lunges, so again, that helps you get out of a bad situation. And then we have her third attack where she throws down one of her daggers, and then if you wait a couple minutes, or not minutes, seconds I guess, it will do damage. But again, it just takes way too long to throw it down, and it takes way too long for it to blow it up for it to be worth it. And just using the other two attacks in conjunction with each other just works so well. You can jump over somewhere, attack someone, jump away, get out of there if it's a bad situation. It's just really good for those two moves. It's just the third move isn't as good, but it still can be used as well. Number 12.
In a league of my own.
Tidepool I do not expect to like as much as I did. She's quite a big surprise in my opinion. So let's go over attacks. So her first attack, she uses, I guess this is animal abuse, but she uses her squids and shoots ink everywhere, and it literally gets everywhere. Like, Tidepool is the equivalent of an inkling in Splatoon. Like, ink just gets everywhere. And I love that about her. She'll even spin around and shoot even more. It's awesome. And then her second attack, she kind of kicks, I think it's a squid as well. She just whacks it into somebody, and occasionally they'll do some more damage while they're there if you hit them right. And I really like this attack, and it shoots out really quickly, and I like that. It's just the main problem is it's a bit hard to aim this attack, but when you do, it's very, very good attack. And then lastly, we got her third attack, which I really like. She sends out a bunch of narwhals or whales or something. I think they're just whales. At people, and they'll push them off the screen or out of the way, and that's really effective. And then I think it accumulates with a whirlpool at the end, which is awesome. So yeah, again, I don't really have any complaints about her attacks. They're all really great. It's just they don't do as much damage as some of the other people on this list. Number 11.
Face the mace.
As much as I love playing as Tri-Tip, he is not one of the most powerful Skylanders, and this is mainly due to his third attack, which I'll get into. But again, first attack, just swinging the weapon around, is very typical of Skylanders. This attack's really good. I just wish it were a little bit faster, but it makes up for it in how strong it is. And then let's get into his second attack, which I think is one of the best second attacks of a character. So he smacks both fists down and then plunges at them, but I love this attack because you can push enemies with it, and also as part of the wind up for this attack, it also does damage and will stun enemies back. And I just love it, and you can just continually do this charge attack back and forth very quickly, and it works so well. And now let's get into his third attack, which I really don't like his third attack. So his third attack, he summons a bunch of bones up, and like a lot of other attacks, it has a long charge up time. But the main problem I have with this attack is that it sometimes just doesn't work. It'll do the charge up and no bone T-Rex heads, whatever they are, will even pop up, and that's just really frustrating because it is a real gamble doing the charge up, but it does a lot of damage when it does land. But then if nothing happens and I did the charge up, it feels like a cheat. So I really don't like this third attack, but his other two attacks are very good, and to make up for it, he has plenty of armor to take some hits. So I really like Tri-Tip. I wanted to put him higher, but yeah, just because of this third attack, I can't unfortunately put him any higher, but he is super adorable and I love him. Number 10.
The scales of justice.
Pit Boss, again, is one of the ones I love his design. I love playing as him. He's a ton of fun to play as. Again, there's just more powerful characters out there, which is crazy. So let's get into this. So his first attack is, again, just using his weapon. He's not really hitting anyone with his weapon, though. He's like a sorcerer type, so he sends snakes out. I would say this is my least favorite of his attacks. It's just not the best, but it works for what it is. And then his second attack I absolutely love. He turns into a snake and he can grab smaller enemies and carry them along with him and then blow up. And I just love this attack. It allows him to move very quickly. He can also peck at people, or not peck, bite people, I guess, when he's going by them. And it's just really, really fun to use this attack just because of how fast he moves. And then his third attack is one of those continual damage type of attacks where you lay them down. I guess they're kind of trap attacks. So you lay it down and then it'll just keep doing damage. And I got no complaints. This is a great attack. You can just put it at a big boss enemy and then, you know, use a snake to get away, and it works so well. So yeah, overall, all his attacks are pretty great. It's just, again, there's better people on this list, which blows me away. Number 9.
Freedom and creep.
I think Ambush has the best combos of any Skylander I've seen in a while, where pretty much all of his attacks just complement each other. So again, first attack, whacking people with a weapon, but I think this is one of my favorites just because of how much he moves around with it and jumps, and it just works so well and does a lot of damage. But the second attack, I absolutely love it. It's a charge attack, but it works so well with his sword attack, so you can just jump over or charge over with his bamboo charge, and then that does damage. Then run over there, swing your sword, oh, gotta get out of there, then just use the bamboo charge again. It just is so satisfying with how much he can move around the board. Ambush really gives me the feeling of like Spider-Man in the Spider-Man PS4 game, where I'm just whipping around the map attacking people, and it's so satisfying. And then his third attack, again, I don't like the charge up, but it's not as bad as some other ones. He just throws some bamboo shoots, and it's a good attack if you're surrounded and need to get all those people around you. Number 8.
It's crunch time.
Bella is another one that I thought I would have higher up on the list, but there's just so many good senseis here that let's go over her. So Bella, her first attack, again, whacking people with your weapon, except this attack is utterly fantastic. It does so much damage, it has such a wide radius, and it's just wonderful how fast she moves around the map. Again, most of the Earth Skylanders, I feel like they are powerhouses. They have tons of armor and they do tons of damage, but they're slow. And Bella does not fit in with all that because she is not slow. She is pretty fast for what she is. And then let's get into her second attack. So she does, what is it called? She lifts her weight that she's holding, and it sends these two hands flying into each other. Amazing attack, just smacks everything everywhere. And then let's get into her third attack. She summons a cube that can be smacked at enemies. This is a good long range attack for her. The only problem is it's a little hard to aim this attack because you don't really aim it, it just kind of aims on its own. But overall it's really good that she does have a long range attack for her. And yeah, overall that's for Bella. She's really great, does tons of wide area damage, and I just really love her. Number 7.
Rooting out evil.
I did not think she would be as high up on this list, but I absolutely fell in love with her. So her first attack is a whip, and she can get this whip out everywhere. It goes super fast and does quite a bit of damage, but also has a ton of radius to it. And then we get to her second attack, which she smacks the ground and then all these vines just come out everywhere. It's a good long range attack, and also it will stay there and do some damage for a little bit, and I really like that about it. And then we also got her third attack, which is also very similar, but it sends out these little pods that will do some pollen damage, and you can even whack them and they'll do more damage. And these shoot out so quickly, you can just send them out all around the map and just continually do damage everywhere, and accompanied by her whip. She is a powerhouse, do not mess with her. She kind of reminds me of those, like the Devil's Snare and stuff like that from Harry Potter, and she kind of freaks me out, but I like her for that. So that is Boom Bloom. Number 6.
The Master of Mystery.
Mysticat is a Skylander that I was totally surprised by. I did not expect them to be in the top 10 at all, but he really surprised me, and yeah, let's just go over him. So his first attack is he sends out these balls of yarn everywhere, and then they'll circle around and smack different areas around him wherever they feel like, and it is a way more effective attack than you would think it is, but it is pretty great. But let's get into his second attack, which I think is the best, is he can throw his staff and create a duplicate of himself that will attack people. And what I absolutely love about this is that the duplicates cause all the enemies to attack the duplicate instead of you. So you can just use them to get enemies away from you, and that is the best part. And along with that, the duplicates just keep attacking people, and you can just keep sending them out. And you can have, I think, like 2 at a time, which is pretty awesome. And then his third attack is perfect for getting away. So he smacks the ground, it gets super speed, and he makes another duplicate, and the duplicate where it was explodes. And I can't get over how much I love Mysticat. I didn't think I would like him this much, because I think Mysticat is one of the more odd Skylanders. His attack set is very unique compared to other Skylanders, and he takes a lot of work to master his abilities, but when you do, he is an ultimate powerhouse. Just the fact that you can get enemies away from you with the duplicates and get out of there super quickly, and his first attack being pretty good for what it is. Number 5.
A shot in the dark.
Starcast is an absolutely gorgeous Skylander. I love everything about his design. He is beautiful. He is someone I would want fighting on my team. But let's get into his attacks. So his first attack, he just throws his Ninja Star. Great long range attack. Really good, and I love the speed that he does it. A lot of long range Skylanders have quite slow attack speed for that kind of attack, but not Starcast. He can whip those things out very quickly. And then let's get into his second attack. He can hop onto a Ninja Star and just float around the map and just damage everyone around him. I love this attack. The only thing I do not like about this attack is when you hit the first attack button, he throws a giant Ninja Star, and the thing I do not like about this is that it stops you in your track. Like, you cannot move when you're doing this. It does a lot of damage, which is cool, but I usually just use the Ninja Star to get away, get out of somewhere, but also do some damage. And then the third attack, which this is what sold me on Starcast, very similar to my boy Mysticat, is if you hit the third attack, he will create a duplicate of himself, and he will also become invisible. And while he is invisible, he can continue to attack people. Oh man, this is so awesome. I wish Mysticat also could become invisible, but still, he wins and losses, I guess. But so Starcast makes this duplicate, becomes invisible, and you can just keep attacking. And again, the duplicates draw all the enemy attacks, so that gets them away from you, and that's what you want. You want to attack them from far away. He is a long-range Skylander, so that is why I love Starcast. He's a beautiful, beautiful boy. Number 4.
The roar of thunder.
Another Skylander that I think looks gorgeous is Wildstorm. Oh man, do I love this guy. And again, Wildstorm is one of the Skylanders that has an insane price tag to him, like Robo, but I just fell in love with Wildstorm much more than I did Robo. So again, let's go over the attack. First attack, just, whacking people with his sword. His second attack I really do like, and I didn't think I would, because typical attacks like this I generally don't like, but he kind of baseball bats lightning at people. And what I like about this is a really good long range, but also you can just hold down the button and point it in different directions and just continually do this attack, and it's really effective. And let's go on to his third attack. So his third attack, he just smacks down and spreads wind everywhere, and this also pushes enemies away from you, which I really like. If guys get too close, just smack this down and boom, just get them the heck out of there. And then top like that, he got lightning, so lightning always does more damage when they're sent into the clouds there that you create with this third attack. Number 3.
Jump till you drop.
This was not a Skylander I was expecting to like a lot, but her attacks are just wonderful. So first attack is she smacks down her hammer, but this attack is way more faster than you think it would be. She can just bounce around the map and smack down this hammer. It does a lot of damage, and it's just so fast. Like, I did not expect this. When I saw she had a huge hammer, I was like, oh great, another slow character. But no, this girl, she can whip that hammer out. Alright, and then her second attack, I also fell in love with, where she kind of goes in a circle and spins around with her axe. And this is so good if you have groups of enemy, because you can just do this attack, spin around, and whip them out. This is great for getting rid of all those smaller enemies and doing continuous damage to a bigger enemy. And then her third attack, which is a really nice long range, you can whip out your head, which is a little weird. But if you hold it a bit, you can get a little duplicate that will run around the map and attack people for you. And you know how I love that kind of thing. But yeah, just love Chopscotch. Did not expect her speed, and she even has an attack where she gets more speed, so that's even cooler. Number 2.
Ready to rock it.
I honestly think he should have been called Flare Fox, though. He looks more like a fox to me, but that is either here nor there, because he is literally an incredible Skylander. So let's go over his first attack. He shoots out legit fireworks, which is awesome. Reminds me a lot of Firecracken from Swap Force. But what I like about this attack is he is stationary and you could just rotate and continually shoot this out. And you can even hold it and get some more fireworks going around. But let's go to his second attack, which his second attack is literally my favorite. You can ride on top of your firework weapon as a firework itself, and it goes so quickly. It is so much fun to zip around the map. It also does damage to enemies when you do this. It's so fast, but oh, I can't get over it. So you can just go over to one end of the map because he is long range, Skylander. So just go over to one end of the map, just keep firing when the enemies get close. Whip out this firework, second attack, boom, you're on the other side of the map already, and then just keep repeating that, and it works so well. Now let's get into his third attack where he uses the fire from the fireworks to do some continuous damage to enemies. What I love is you can hold this attack for as long as you want, and you can walk around with it, which is even better, and the joy on his face when he does this is priceless. But I love Flare Wolf, but there was one more that I love more than him. Number 1.
The sword is gone!
Let me tell you the story about me getting Chain Reaction. I remember Imaginators came out, just was released, and they had all the Skylanders out for the first wave. And I looked at Chain Reaction and I said, this guy looks ugly, he's probably really powerful. And oh boy, was I right. This dude is unstoppable. So his first attack, again, typical, hitting the whatever weapon it is. But the thing about Chain Reaction is he does so much more damage than any other one because he has legit chainsaws which are always on and they just keep like at people. I don't know how to describe it. Just keeps hitting people. And then his second attack, he can quickly put down a mini chain or chain, I don't know what it's called, chainsaw trap that will just keep hitting people. It does so much damage, and oh man, is it an effective attack. And then his third attack reminds me a lot of Spire Eyes back in the day, but this attack is so good for getting out of there. So Chain Reaction, he's a really big powerhouse, but sometimes you get surrounded and you need to get out of somewhere. So just use this attack, get out of the way, and then maybe drop down on some few guys while you're doing it for the third attack. But oh boy, I did not expect Chain Reaction to actually be like this powerful, but go and check him out. He does look like really creepy, but he is so worth it. He has never let me down in a fight. He always fights till the very end. And so yeah, that is my video for ranking the Senseis. I want to thank Skylanders Dude for recommending me make this video, because he is a Psyduck God tier member on my channel, and that means you can request me make a video. So yeah, thanks again, Skylanders Dude. Go check out his channel in the description. But yeah, so that is this video. Let me know your rankings in the comments. I always love seeing how you guys rank some Skylanders. And let me know if you think I'm totally crazy on my list or I'm totally spot on. Whatever you decide. But again, thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Before I go, I would like to give a huge shout out to my Psyduck gods, where we got Skylanders Dude, Ignite the Fire, and Jackcraft7. I'd also like to give a shout out to my Power Rangers, where we got Blue and King Toast. And I would also like to thank all of my Gusto Cult members. I am so blessed by the generosity of all of you. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.